Search Basics, Part 4, Pearl Searching. This happens to everyone, and it will happen to you. You find one good book or article. It's precious, like a pearl. But the rest of your references, this picture speaks for itself. Fortunately, you can follow that pearl to a treasure trove of other references, much better than the first pile. Let's open that pearl and examine our reference. And here is the article. You have to be almost dead before they ever really work on you in prison. Oh boy, this is the one with the stories. It's also the one with the subject headings. See all these subject headings here? We have reproductive health. Correctional institutions is another word for prisons. Medical care of prisoners. Yeah, that's different from the way we're saying it. Let's try it. Sure thing. What is medication-assisted treatment? And this has a legal case in it. Patient or prisoner? It's in the George Washington Law Review. Is a law review a scholarly journal? Yes. Lawyers get a JD degree, Juris Doctor. Okay, here's another one. Applicable standard for deficient medical treatment pre-trial detainees. Objective reasonableness, and it's another law review. Why are there all these law reviews? I think it's the way our big box is doing some of its searches. Some of that changed this summer. Diversion to treatment. Criminal diversion. I don't think that's prisoners. Let's look at patient or prisoner. And I'm going to press the PDF to get inside. It said Access Now PDF, and here's the article. Carceral power expands into many institutions vital to social life. This is about prisoners when they get taken out to the hospital. It's written by a law professor. And it has a table of contents like a book. And it's over 86 pages long. It's very long. It even uses a French word. This doesn't look like most journal articles. Law review articles are journal articles, but their format is somewhat different. And they're interested in the law. The law might be okay, but I'm more interested in what happens to the prisoners, not what happens in court. Is there a way we can get rid of all the law reviews? What we can do is loosen up this subject heading by turning it back into a keyword phrase. So we're going to have medical care as one concept, and I'm putting it in quotes to keep the words from getting reversed or separated. The and, all in caps, gets us the overlap with prisoners. Now we ought to be able to make this run. Let's go.
That looks interesting.
I looked at that one. It's about prisoners of war.
Okay, here's another law review. I think that's a title in Spanish. That doesn't look like it's in English. Okay, health and human rights. This looks a little better, and it's about COVID-19. This looks like it's somewhere other than the United States. I've never heard of the older prisoners' health and social care. We don't have social care.
Here's another one. This is about North Carolina. This is a little better.
Can we get rid of the foreign countries at least? Yes, and we can also get rid of the stale stuff. Let's get back to the last 5 years under all time. This is a limiter and it sits at the top of a page. We just got rid of over 80% of our articles. Now, to get the United States, we go to All Filters. And we scroll all the way down to Geography. And we open it up and we say United States. We click USA. We say Update Selections. We say Apply. Okay, there's my human rights article. Physical health and medical care. This is people returning from prison. There's my law review. More of that. Oh, here's one with a story in it. Let's try a different kind of Perl search now. This is another article. Dirt under my feet. This is another story. I like story articles. And here is the article. We're going to scroll down. Wait, there's no subject headings. You're right. But we're going to click on one of the authors instead. The reason this sometimes works is because authors write about the same subjects. Here is Camille Kramer. She has the same last name as me. And there's my article. They talked to me like I was dirt. And further down, assessing the provision of mood. What is a mood? It is medical opioid use disorder treatment. Here we have COVID vaccine hesitancy. Here we have access to treatment for pregnant incarcerated people with opioid use disorder. And we have shackling and pregnancy care policies in U.S. prisons and jails. Let's open that up. Okay. This is going to talk about pregnant prisoners. I could search for that. Probably I'd have to use a keyword because they're separate. I could search about prisoners and well-being. I could search about prisoners and prenatal care. Any of these might work. At least they work some of the time. You don't have to chase your precious pearl through the weeds. Just a click of the mouse on the authors or subject headings brings excellent articles. Your pearl reveals a lode of treasure. So if you have one or a few good articles or book chapters, you now have a whole new way to search. Have a great day and thank you.